Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window on this Friday. And yeah, lots of blue sky out there today. This is our Monitor Sky-Fi Tower camera. Not aiming towards Kashmir today, back towards the Wenatchee area. And you can see the snow-covered hilltops and all of that blue sky, which did provide some sunshine. The cold weather is eroding away, but that's going to allow some instability to move in, especially as we get into Saturday night and into Sunday. We could see some snow and some slick roads, especially in the Cascade Passes. I really don't expect a lot of snow here in central Washington, maybe over in the Spokane area, about 1 to 3 inches. Probably just a skiff here in Wenatchee with some wind on Sunday. We'll have your complete weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Chelan Fire and Rescue, as well as the Manson Fire Department, responded to a 2-alarm structure fire off Highway 150 near Rocky Point in Manson this morning. Also coming up, trial can proceed against an East Wenatchee man charged with 97 felonies for an alleged inappropriate relationship with a child. Governor Jay Inslee was in Chelan County today for an outreach visit, and we will have more on the governor's visit. But first, our top story tonight, the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department responded to a fire at a multifamily complex early this morning. At 1:27 a.m., Rivercom received a report of a fire on the 1500 block of 5th Street near Wenatchee Valley College. All occupants were removed from the complex and the fire was knocked down about an hour later and then completely cleared by 4:30 a.m. The Red Cross is assisting 8 people that were displaced by the fire. The cause of the blaze is under investigation. Chelan Fire and Rescue, as well as the Manson Fire Department, responded to a 2-alarm structure fire off Highway 150 near Rocky Point. That's near Manson this morning. The fire broke out at around 10:30. The house under construction was a total loss, and the blaze did not spread to neighboring homes. No word yet on the cause of that fire. Well, the trial can proceed against an East Wenatchee man charged with 97 felonies for an allegedly inappropriate relationship with a child. 37-year-old Kenneth Allen Crabtree has been jailed since January of 2022 on 32 counts of immoral communication with a minor, plus 65 counts of violating a no-contact order. This week, Douglas County Judge Brian Huber signed an order finding Crabtree competent to stand trial and then ordered him to face a jury in the case on March 21st. While Crabtree was held in the Okanogan County Jail in 2021, he allegedly carried out illicit phone and video calls with a 12-year-old child, despite a court order barring him from doing so. A 42-year-old East Wenatchee woman, Raquel Ann Langhurst, is charged with 5 related felony counts and 30 misdemeanors after sheriff's deputies said she helped facilitate those calls. Governor Jay Inslee was in Chelan County today for an outreach visit. The governor's first stop was Leavenworth City Hall for a roundtable with Mayor Carl Floria and other officials about efforts to address the area's affordable housing crisis. From there, Inslee went on to scheduled stops in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. At his Leavenworth appearance this morning, the governor said he wants to bring a bond proposal before all Washington voters that would raise $4 billion to build new affordable homes across the state. For his part, Mayor Floria said he hopes to someday tap into tourism revenues to fund housing efforts in his city.
We need that working family housing in Leavenworth to be able to have this community to continue to thrive. And what I heard was a desire for a diverse community. So it's not just multimillionaires from Seattle, but that we have all kinds of different folks through the economic stratum, diversity in all its respects. And I think that's really encouraging that the community wants to remain a community that has everybody of all stripes living in an economic, demographic, and otherwise. So I was really encouraged what I heard. I am very hopeful that the legislature will act on our proposal. It's a big, bold proposal to address a big, gnarly problem. And this is not going to get better unless we step up to the plate. Because of our uniqueness as a tourism economy, we generate funds off of that tourism economy that I think we can use too. And that's, you know, we don't have a bill right now, but that's a future discussion that I want to be able to keep going with, is allowing us to use the lodging tax that we generate. We generate over $3.5 million every year in lodging tax. A small addition to that would give us, you know, 2 cents would give us, 2% would give us another $1.5 million that we would generate locally that could also, again, support those efforts of the state, but would add to it, because we know even the $4 billion is not going to solve it. Yeah. It's a big chunk that we need to move forward, but we've got a lot of other littler, smaller pieces that we're going to have to put together to make this whole thing work over time.
When we come back, the Wenatchee School District held its second of 3 public forums last night with a candidate to be its new superintendent. The Wenatchee Downtown Association held their annual appreciation dinner on Wednesday. And as you may know, Washington by the nickname the Evergreen State, but officially that name doesn't apply. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the ProMag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. It features a great layout with a spacious bow casting platform, huge live wells, and in-floor storage to safely stow your gear. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
Welcome back. In another news, the Wenatchee School District held its second of 3 public forums last night with a candidate to be its new superintendent. Tavis Peterson, currently in his 5th year as the assistant superintendent of the Wapato School District, took public questions through a moderator at the Wenatchee High School Commons. The last applicant, District Administrator Corey Kalahar, will have his town hall Monday night.
And so the first thing that comes to mind when I think about establishing trust is making sure that everybody understands the direction the district needs to move in order to support student outcomes. Because that's our objective, that's our mission as a school district. We are supporting student growth and student outcomes. And your strategic plan has 6 great outcomes, the big 6, and that really leads our work. And I want to share that with people. And it's really important in establishing trust because I want people to know the work that I plan to lead. Because after they see me leading that work, that will lead to trust. Oh, that's what he said he was going to do. Now we see him doing it with high levels of transparency and integrity.
The Wenatchee Downtown Association held their annual appreciation dinner on Wednesday. The event honored and awarded businesses and their individuals for their work. The association recognized new businesses like Steam Panda and Mountain Chick Floral with the Unstoppable Award. Legacy awards including businesses like Arlberg Sports and Davis Furniture, both of which have been family owned and operated for over 30 years. Individual honorees included Stacy Asher for her board service since 2014 and Jerry Barkley with the Spirit of Downtown Award. Well, as we go to break, you may know Washington by the nickname the Evergreen State, but officially that name just doesn't apply. The use dates back to 1890, but no one can find the record of it being formally adopted in the legislature. A bill that passed 49-0 in the state Senate on Monday now heads to the House, which could make the nickname finally official.
For many years, a lot of us have seen license plate covers. We've seen signs welcoming you to the Evergreen State. And when we travel abroad, Mr. President, a lot of people will say, well, where are you from? Well, I'm from the Evergreen State. We deserve this nickname. We deserve this nickname because take a look around you. Our state parks, our national parks, our backyards, everywhere we look, the Evergreen State is right in front of us. And today, Mr. President, to clarify, what does evergreen mean? Well, it remains green for more than one season. And in Washington State, with our weather, that's easy. You simply just add water.
Who knew? You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Wintertime is when the Northwest Avalanche Center does what it does best. They forecast and produce, the forecasts they produce are invaluable to backcountry skiers, hikers, and anyone using mountain terrain. The team predicted the hazardous conditions that led to last weekend's death of 3 climbers on Kolchak Peak. In tonight's feature story, the center has produced a behind-the-scenes documentary, The Bottom Line, to showcase its work. Here's a sample of that film.
Now, in the avalanche education world, you start with the avalanche forecast, but then you make your own observations after that to look for what the forecast is talking about. But if you see something that doesn't line up and indicates more danger, you take the responsibility on yourself to change your plan.
My name is Irene Henninger.
And I'm Lee Lazara, and we're both avalanche forecasters with the Northwest Avalanche Center, and we forecast for the West North and West Central zones.
I ski patrolled between Montana and New Zealand for 23 winters, and so while I was doing that, I was also teaching avalanche courses. But then I looked around for some forecasting jobs, and I ended up taking the job at the Northwest Avalanche Center.
So the path to me becoming an avalanche forecaster was just by being a skier, by being someone who loved skiing, loved being in the mountains, and was particularly attracted to being in avalanche terrain as a backcountry skier. I lived in Little Cottonwood Canyon, and I ended up staying there long enough that I landed on the Snowbird Ski Patrol. I worked as a guide for a handful of years, as a ski guide, a mountain guide in the Northwest, and I started working with the Northwest Avalanche Center as a pro observer and did that for 5 years. This job as a forecaster came up in the last year, and I applied, and happy to be part of the organization since 2015.
NWAC is a public-private partnership. The U.S. Forest Service provides avalanche and weather forecasting, and the nonprofit NWAC provides outreach, education, and fundraising.
Our goal at NWAC is to consistently provide an avalanche forecast that's expert, professional, and clear, that is something reliable for people to use so they can understand each day how much danger they can encounter from avalanches when they're in the mountains. but also where they can go to do what they're out there to do to begin with.
What's really important to me is that I don't want to make this all sound negative, just like don't go here, don't go here, don't go here sort of thing. I mean, really, a lot of the times that 25-degree powder slope would be nice to get on, or if you're a snowshoer, maybe just rerouting your plan to travel on a different trail.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope the end of your week Friday was a good one. Still that cold air stuck around today once again, and it was kind of a chilly one, but a beautiful day out there with those blue skies and all of the sunshine we enjoyed. Great shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. That's from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. Unofficially today, 22 degrees, our afternoon high temperature. That's well below 45 where we should be this time of year. 59, that's our record high, and it was set back in 1991. How about this? We set an overnight low record this morning at 12 degrees. Our old record 13, and that was set 30 years ago back in 1993. 29, by the way, is where we should be for an overnight low this time of year. Still sticking at 39.5 inches of snow for the year and about an inch and 3/4 of precipitation since January 1st. Sunrise 6:50 this morning, and the sun sets for us late this afternoon at 5:38. Taking a look at what we can expect as we get into the upcoming weekend. One thing that will be nice about tomorrow, and that's slightly warmer temperatures. We're going to get into the lower 30s in the Columbia Basin tomorrow. The warm spot as usual, Moses Lake at 32, Quincy at 30, 29 in Wenatchee. We may see 30 degrees tomorrow. Upper 20s then for the rest of us. Cashmere, Leavenworth goes for Eniat, Chelan. You will see 28 for your afternoon high tomorrow. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies. There's that low pressure system that brought some snow a couple of days ago, continuing its slow trek to the south, but not many clouds tonight, and that means cold overnight lows with lows in the single digits, probably around 9 degrees. For Saturday, here's that next storm system digging in off the coast of Washington. Still a ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest for most of the day on Saturday, so that'll bring us mostly sunny skies. Slightly warmer temperatures too, with highs as we talked about near 30 degrees. For Sunday, we could see some morning snow showers. Here's that low, and it's going to drag a frontal system through the state, and a good chance for snow in the morning. That will break up a little bit by Sunday afternoon. It will be windy and warmer on Sunday with highs in the upper 30s. And then as we kick off our next work week, there's that low still sticking around western Washington. That's going to bring us a 50% chance of snow showers on Monday. High temperatures in the low 30s to kick off our next work week. And then the good news, we're going to warm up somewhat. We will still see the effects of that area of low pressure, bringing us mostly cloudy skies on Tuesday. The good news, high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, and although that will still be below normal, it's better than the 20s, right? For Wednesday, partly cloudy and warmer, a real ridge builds up and over the Pacific Northwest. That's going to quiet our weather down a little bit by midweek. High temperatures on Wednesday near 40 degrees, and then the end of our 7-day forecast on Thursday, a big old westerly flow moving into Washington State. But look at all of that wind. It's going to be a windy one on Tuesday. 30% chance for a rain-snow mix at the end of our forecast, with high temperatures then into the low 40s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast, brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. Tonight, 10 degrees, so we're still going to stay well below where we should be for overnight lows tonight, and then getting back a little bit towards normal this weekend. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 29. Don't forget, morning snow, a distinct possibility on Sunday, giving way to some clouds in the afternoon. The nice thing, we're going to warm up almost 10 degrees from Saturday into Sunday. 35 with a 50% chance of snow on Monday, mostly cloudy and 37 on Tuesday. For Wednesday, partly partly cloudy and warmer with a high of 40, and then a chance for rain and snow on Thursday. Windy conditions with a high then of 43. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
Happy Friday, sports fans. Jake DeBrusk scored the game-winning goal with $1:38 left. Unfortunately, Mr. DeBrusk plays for the Boston Bruins, and the Boston Bruins knock off the Kraken last night at Climate Pledge Arena. The final was 6-5, avenging their only regular season shutout of the year. You remember back on January 12th when Seattle shut out Boston in Boston. You want goals? We got them.
Pastrnak in the corner. Has surpassed 40 goals again for the third time. His shot denied by Grubauer. And the Kraken will get it out to center. On the gallop, Beniers. Done for the front with Eberle. They score! How about that? The kid from Boston, Matty Beniers, 40 seconds in. David Krejci now. Pastrnak for Zacha. Pastrnak off the side of the goal. Maybe Grubauer got a piece of it. Pastrnak, Zacha, Krejci. They score! What a play! Finished off by the wily veteran, David Krejci. This one's tied at 1.
Opportunity in on Swayman.
Face-off win, Wenberg. Done a shot. He scores! A well-placed dandy by Vince Dunn from downtown. 18:43 left to go in the second. 2-1, Seattle. And they've been great together for a few weeks now. Pastrnak coming off wing. What a move! He scores! What a goal by David Pastrnak! That's in his personal collection in terms of highlight reel goals. What a beauty by Pastrnak. We're tied. Marchand out of the corner, low to high, McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy off Grubauer, they score! Brad Marchand was left unmarked. 11-11 left in the second period. Boston now by 1. Going down was Morgan Geekie. They play on. Geekie now for the front. Froden. The trailer. Oleksiak scores! Hitch up the trailer. Here comes the big rig. Right down Lenny Wilkins' way. And the Kraken have tied it. Look. The Kraken work it around the horn. Vince Dunn pressured by Bergeron. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Marchand has the puck. Bergeron scores. Shorthanded goal with 2:09 left in the second period. Marchand to Bergeron. Boston by 1. All alone is Matty Beniers. He'll advance to the line. Gord. Beniers. He'll settle it down away from Coyle and Lindholm. Gord. They score! Off McAvoy out in front. Yanni Gord, a little pinball wizard action. And the Kraken tie it with a power play goal. Wenberg will kick it to his stick. A good play. Here's Borgen. What a play. Oleksiak. Borgen again. Will Borgen pumps it. Tipped in! Hey, hey! What do you say? Jaden Schwartz. 4:10 on the clock. 5-4 Seattle.
It all started because of the effort by Alex Wenberg
to steal the puck. But D to D, back to the D, and then the quick little shot. Lindbergh doesn't get an assist there, but boy, oh boy, the effort there to deny, steal the puck, and the puck ends up in the net. Lindholm across, they score! Beautiful pass, and a quality finish by Brandon Carlo. Seconds later, 3:40 left now, tied at 5. Tipped in, Jake DeBrusk gets a stick to it with 1:37 left. 6-5 Boston. A couple of one battles by the Bruins. Moving the puck from low to high. McAvoy with the quick shot, and then you picked up on Johnny, the redirect by Jake DeBrusk. No chance for Grubauer. The screen in front of the net. Boston will win their 44th game of the season. Their 20th on the road. They will surround.
Kraken get a couple of days off before they welcome the Toronto Maple Leafs to Climate Pledge Arena. That is a Sunday afternoon matinee, 4 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. All right, college basketball scores. It was the tune-up for the big game tomorrow night. No real problems for Gonzaga. They took care of San Diego 97-72. Drew Timme leading the way with 22 points. For Zag scoring in double figures. The big one tomorrow night, nationally televised, the only team ahead of them in the West Coast Conference. St. Mary's at Gonzaga. That is going to be a big one. Washington State had 22 points from TJ Bamba. They knocked off Stanford. The final there was 67-63. Cougars will be at Cal on Saturday. That's at 2 o'clock. You can watch that on the Pac-12 network. Washington Huskies never trailed, and they knocked off Cal 65-56 in front of a partial sellout in Berkeley, California. Keon Brooks Jr. leading the Dogs at 24 points. The Huskies will be at Stanford Sunday at 3 o'clock. You can watch that on FS1. And Eastern Washington make it 18 in a row. They have clinched the Big Sky Conference. They knock off Weber State, their last regular season game at Idaho State again this weekend. As far as the ladies are concerned, Gonzaga wraps up at least a tie for the West Coast Conference Championship. They beat San Diego at home 73-61. Zags wrap up their regular season. They'll be in Provo to take on BYU Saturday at 1 o'clock. The Lady Cougars win for the first time ever in Pauley Pavilion. They were 0-35, but they knocked off UCLA 62-55 last night. They will be at USC Saturday at 12 noon, but the Lady Huskies at USC came up on the short end of the stick, and they will take on UCLA Saturday at 12 noon. Don't forget the Wenatchee Wild in Canada this weekend. They'll be back home next weekend for Guns N' Hoses nights. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Have a good and safe weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Nice work this week. And now let's check right back in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Hope everybody has a good and safe weekend. We'll be right back at it again on Monday. But you know our tradition around here for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're here and we work. We just don't work real hard. We'll have highlights of Gonzaga and St. Mary's, that big game tomorrow night at the Kennel. We have sports, anything that made news over the weekend. I'll have that for you as well. Your updated weather forecast. I invite you to start your next work week right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are live and we are local at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday right here from Studio 2. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great weekend.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCW Life channel.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.